Welcome back to Caravan of Garbage. This is some of my favourite Caravan of Garbages because Mason has to watch old Disney films and then be yelled at if he doesn't like them.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, I see. Do you think anybody yelled at me for not liking Dumbo?
No, but Mason, we're getting into the thick of it now.
Okay, hello, all right.
Now, we could have gone anywhere in the Aladdin universe. We could have done any of the sequels or the TV series that ran for quite a long time,
yes,
etc. and so forth, Kingdom Heart games, but no, the original Aladdin from 1992, a Disney classic. People love this movie. It's beloved. They can't stop loving it. What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. Sucked in, idiot. I watched it and I enjoyed it. Had a good fun time with it.
I might actually not like it as much as you, which means I'll get the... So first impressions though, like it opens, over Agrabah or whatever, and you see this expansive Middle Eastern world.
Yep.
How did you feel about that? The opening song, the palace, the little Robin Williams man explaining the story.
Yeah, that's interesting. I found initially because the little Robin Williams man, is not the genie.
I was going to do this later, but sure, I'll do it now.
Okay, good.
The idea was that it was revealed that is the genie at the end, and he's gone on to be free, and this is one of the forms that he has chosen or whatever.
Yeah, right.
That was changed, but it has been confirmed by the directors that is still supposed to be the genie.
Yeah, right.
So there you go.
Okay, that's
you also heard the theory that Aladdin is a post-apocalyptic universe because all the references are things that haven't happened yet.
Yes, I think
They're
I have
talking
heard
about
that,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Peter Larray.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want all the impersonations that
Yes,
Robin Williams
please.
does in order?
Yes.
Some of these are so timely. I mean,
Look. One, it's just for the adults watching. That's it.
100%.
And two, it's like remember that Peter Pan movie?
Which one?
The last one, the most recent one.
That was a horrible film, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Why
but
would you bring that up?
Because the delightful Hubert Jackman's in it, and also because the villains were from out of time.
Yeah.
So that's why they knew Nirvana songs, because
Yes.
they were from beyond time.
Yeah, right.
But this is the same thing with the genie. He exists in all space and time. That's why he
Maybe
knows...
Kurt Cobain was in that universe and he got that new sound he was looking for from the Peter Pan
Are you
universe.
saying he was are you saying that he was an orphan in like the,
Yes.
the 19th century, and then he came to the
Yeah, he
modern
escaped-
era? Never mind, Neverland.
Exactly.
Whoa,
That's
mind
all
blown.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Impersonations: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ed Sullivan, Groucho Marx,
Oh, yeah.
William F. Buckley.
What is he, Arnold?
He does muscles. He's like, look at my muscles.
Oh, okay,
one of
right. It's in the
first
intro
one he
song. It's
does,
in the intro song. Okay,
Senor
right.
Wentz's, Robert De Niro, Carol Channing,
Nothing, I don't know. I just like a Carol Channing reference.
Arsenio Hall, Walter Brennan.
Does it have Arsenio Hall? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Walter Brennan, Mary Hart, Ethel Merman,
right.
Rodney Dangerfield, Jack Nicholson, Peter Lorre,
Yeah.
and Alec Guinness. Where was the Alec Guinness?
I don't know, but I don't think it wasn't Obi-Wan
Obviously
Kenobi.
not.
It was like,
might have been Bridge Over River Kwai.
yeah, I was gonna say
It might have been
one of the roles he liked.
What did you think about the musical numbers of this in general? I mean, we can go through a few as we go, but were there any standout stuff?
I quite liked the intro song. I thought that was quite good.
There's some controversy around that because there's a line, and I don't have it in front of me.
Is it because everything in it is a stereotype?
Pretty
is that
much.
Why?
Well,
All right.
that they say like it's something like it's a terrible place, but it's home or whatever.
It's barbaric, but hey, it's home.
Or it's,
Oh,
or something
yeah,
like
right,
that.
right,
Or,
uh-huh.
Yeah, and that was changed in other countries because they're like, well, we can't say that because we live in,
Oh, right.
in countries surrounding
Wait, so
this
is
area.
Agrabah a real place?
No, I don't
Okay,
believe
right.
so. Or it is.
Cool.
It may have been at some point.
Nobody comes to this for facts.
Definitely not, yeah.
Uh-huh. I was enjoying the whole movie up until the introduction of the genie, but it took me a minute to adjust to the genie because he's peak Robin Williams.
It takes
isn't
a left turn.
He does take a left turn, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. I'm like, this is quite charming, and it's a fun little.
You like the characters?
It's a fun little romance and whatever,
Yeah.
and then it's like, boom,
Jack
impressions.
Nicholson.
Schwarzenegger,
Well,
Carol Channing. Hello, Dolly.
he went so off script for a lot of this. Apparently, there's 16 hours of material that they
Oh my
have.
god.
And it surprises me, and maybe they looked into it, that they didn't try and use some of this stuff and just go, can we recreate Robin Williams for the new live action one?
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that was not considered.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, they could have done fresh jokes
Yeah, absolutely.
for 8 more movies.
Yes.
We wouldn't have known.
The thing is, there is some controversy surrounding Robin Williams in this part, which I'll get to
Okay.
towards the end, because it's kind of an interesting story of how he came to it and what it ended up being.
He forced his way in at gunpoint.
He certainly did.
He found Walt Disney's head
Yes.
and he took it out of the fridge and he's like, I'm going to put this in an oven.
You know what musical number I love in this?
Yes.
The introduction of Aladdin, where he's running from the guards and,
You know what else was jarring? The voice of Aladdin.
This for a loaf of bread?
Why?
Because I'd never heard the character speak before.
It's Steve from Full House.
I can stand on the coffee table.
DJ's boyfriend.
All right.
You're not familiar with him?
Not really.
You're familiar with him.
I'm sure I would if I saw a picture.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I always assumed he would have a Middle Eastern accent.
Okay, no.
And no, he doesn't.
What are you thinking,
He's just
Mason?
from
It's
California.
1992.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What was I thinking?
It's not 2019's Guy Ritchie's Aladdin, Mason,
That's
which we haven't
very
seen
true.
yet. But no, one of my favourite jokes in this movie is where the monkey gets a sword and the guards are like, he's got a sword, and then they realise they've all got
They've
swords.
all got swords,
There's
yeah.
a lot of little stuff in this which I
Yeah.
quite like. Here's something I don't understand, though. When Jafar, when they capture Aladdin...
Yes.
Because, we don't need to recap the story, do we? Everyone's seen Aladdin.
Everyone's seen Aladdin.
Even you have seen it now at this point.
Everyone's seen Aladdin at this point. We've done it. Ta-da.
So Jafar needs the diamond in the rough to
Yes.
to get into the Cave of Wonders,
Mhm.
right? Mm-hmm. So he goes down to the Aladdin in the dungeon and he disguises himself as
Yes.
an old man. And
I like that old man
birds-
character. I like that old man. I'm like,
Yeah.
he just slinks out of the darkness.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's pretty cool.
and the bird's the hump on his back or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't.
I also like Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh,
in
he's
this.
amazing.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
underst-
very restrained.
I mean,
Like,
next
he's
to
not-
Rob, I think you're comparing him to Robert Williams.
No,
though.
I'm comparing him to Gilbert Gottfried in real
Oh,
life.
just regular.
I think they were like we want an outrageously cartoonish bird character, Gilbert Gottfried. So if you could dial it down to about a 4, you know the Gilbert Gottfried level, you're always at 10. Bring it
Yeah.
down to 4 if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, a few steps below Problem Child, which you're probably
Yes.
in from memory. Yeah, I don't understand why he's doing the disguise. I mean, he's only going to murder this kid anyway. What does it matter? Why does
Yeah,
he?
right.
He could just be like, "Yeah, I work at the palace. Let's go get this thing."
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, it's all fun and games, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's whimsical characters and adventures.
Because Jafar's like a real big dude.
So?
So the little old man needs help lifting stuff. Did you rewatch this, or you just?
I
basing this-
did rewatch
Okay,
it.
right.
But no, he could just say, "I'm old and I need help lifting stuff."
looks big,
it's like
though, doesn't
moving
he?
a couch. You just grab another guy. You don't.
Yeah,
It
right.
doesn't matter how big you are. You need someone else to maneuver it through a
He's
doorway.
got very well manicured fingers, I guess.
Yeah,
He
he
could be like, I don't
probably
want my manicure to be ruined. you know?
Exactly. Look, I'm not taking my robes off, all right? We're doing this.
Right, uh-huh, yes.
Okay, there's something that I think they were doing a lot at the time. They tinkered with it a little bit in like Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid.
Sort of CGI stuff.
It's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
Some of it looks great.
Yes.
Some of it is a bit jarring.
Uh-huh.
There's a bit where he's flying the carpet through the cave as it's exploding, and it looks really good in some parts. There's a bit where he's going to hit a wall and it goes down, and you get up close to the wall, and it's a bit kind of... It's
Yeah,
a little
right.
bit wonky. Do you disagree with
No,
me
I
on
agree with that.
Yeah.
There's a bit where the cave itself collapses. It sort of shrinks down to nothingness.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good, and then it doesn't.
Sure. Well, that's like people, isn't it?
Yeah,
They look
that's
pretty
true.
good until they don't.
Until they don't,
And
exactly.
every old person looks the same.
Yes.
But you know what is an interesting CGI thing in this?
What's
the
that?
carpet itself is hand-drawn.
Yes.
But the pattern is 3D.
Oh.
So they, instead of redrawing that every time, because
Yeah.
it's quite an intricate pattern, it's got lamps in the corner and things
Yeah,
like
right,
that.
right.
Instead of having to do that, like it's an impossible hand-drawn animation task.
Yes.
They took this kind of shortcut, and you don't really notice for
I
a
didn't
lot of
certainly
it.
didn't
Yeah.
notice it.
Do you know, Mason,
Yes.
how they got Robin Williams to come on board this film? I mean, you had your own theory, the frozen head in the oven.
Oh, yeah. I'd already forgotten that. I was going to say cocaine. A trail of cocaine?
Was he doing that at that point?
I don't
know if he
know.
was. I think he was off that.
Oh, good for him.
I think it was also around the time, it was in between him filming Toys and Hook, I think. It was around that era.
Oh, yeah, right,
So he
right,
was kind of
right,
doing
okay.
this in between that.
Right, okay.
But they, the way they convinced him to do it is they took some of his stand-up
Yep.
and they animated it as the genie. And you can
Oh,
find this
right.
online. It's
But first, before we do the play, I'd like to talk about the very serious subject of schizophrenia. No, he doesn't. Shut up, let him talk.
it's quite interesting. And so he loved that so much that he's like, absolutely, I'll do it. With conditions.
Yes.
Which we'll get back to.
Oh, hello.
Because they broke those conditions. The Prince Ali segment where they introduce him, that
Yep.
big musical number,
Uh-huh.
is fantastic, I feel. And A Whole New World, it's a classic love song
Yeah, it
for,
is,
for
yeah.
the ages. Little known fact, that's not how the Sphinx's nose. That's not what happened to it. it's not a real event
Yeah,
in
uh-huh.
time, in history.
It's not how it came off.
No.
Apparently it's vandalism.
It didn't just disintegrate over time?
No, vandalism.
Who did it?
Vandals.
There's also...
But
wasn't
like
there-
religious vandals.
Right.
Because you depower the god. If you like cut their ears off or their mouth or their nose,
Right.
you take away some element of their power.
I remember there being a rumor when I was a kid, before anybody had the internet, that Napoleon shot it off with a cannon.
Oh, cool.
But that doesn't seem likely. What do you think? Jafar's a great villain, right?
Agreed.
You must have loved when he turned into a snake.
I did love when he turned into
I
a
knew
snake.
you did,
Yeah.
Mason. I think the back end of this
Because
movie...
he himself is a snake.
Exactly.
Metaphorically, but then he becomes a snake literally. You know?
I feel, though, the back end of this movie isn't as strong as... I think the final act isn't that interesting.
It kind of, it's the final act is kind of by the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, what if he becomes, he gets the genie and then what if he becomes a big monster? What if he becomes an even bigger monster? Now it's the end.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it goes. Who's
Yeah.
your favourite character in this movie?
Maybe the bird?
Okay, cool. All right, nice.
I don't know, what about you?
I like Princess Jasmine.
Yeah, right.
She's got a lot of sass. She hasn't taken any guff.
Well, originally she had more to do. She was going to get herself out of the hourglass, use the hairpin,
Cut around. Okay, cool.
cut out the
why
glass.
was that changed, I wonder?
I think it was an animation thing, and they just went, look, Aladdin can rush in. But apparently they hated doing it. They're like, we'd rather her get her out by herself, but
Yeah, right. Okay.
we're doing it this way. Well, she is one of the most beloved Disney princesses.
Yeah, cool.
And also... probably the first Middle Eastern. I say probably. I definitely. Almost certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Like a lot of the stuff, like the casting, you wouldn't do today, but it still did break a lot of ground in terms of looking at a slightly different culture.
Yes, for
which
sure,
they
yeah.
didn't really do at
Yeah,
the time. But I
uh-huh.
know it butchers a lot of it. But
Uh-huh.
it did take some steps forward in that way.
Yeah, it's not an outright just endless parade of horrific stereotypes
No,
at the
it's
very
not.
least, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is what I think, though.
Oh, here we go.
I think Jafar is obsessed with muscles, and I'll tell you why.
Because when he becomes the genie, he's got big old muscles.
That is definitely an element of it.
Okay, all right.
But I feel like the genie kind of adapts to your personality or what you need to see.
Okay.
Because when Aladdin gets him, he's wacky and he's like, look at me, I'm Jack Nicholson, your favourite actor, Aladdin.
Yeah, right, uh-huh.
Right? But Jafar gets him and he's this...
And he realizes that it isn't as good as it gets.
That's right. But the genie is this giant, hulking, muscular
I see.
force. And then when he himself becomes a genie, he's like muscles, big old muscles for myself.
Like in The Mask.
Exactly
When
like
Jim
in the
Carrey
Mask.
gets the mask,
That's right.
he's all wacky, but then when Dorian, evil villain of the mask, gets the mask, he
Nobody
becomes
remembers the name of the
just
villain
me,
from
I'm the
Mask.
only one, not even the actor who played him.
Before we get to that Robin Williams stuff,
Yes.
I don't think it's great. I
Uh-huh.
think it's good.
Yeah, right.
Up to a point.
Yeah, right.
And it's
Then it's a bit rote.
a bit rote, yeah.
Okay.
Do you disagree with
no,
me
I
on
don't
that?
disagree with that, but I
Yeah.
had a fun magic carpet ride the whole way through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Mason, this hasn't gone how I wanted it. Because I wanted everybody to attack you endlessly. Yeah.
You know why I like this one more? Probably because it's got human characters in it.
Oh, right,
It's
yeah.
got human characters and some like animal sidekicks.
Also, if you're only comparing this to Dumbo,
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's no comparison there.
I feel you should have ended with Dumbo. Look, you
Probably
still
right.
have time.
Yeah.
What I would recommend, because we're going to do all the Disney movies, is try and scale them
Yeah.
in a way that will annoy me the most. I feel you know me well enough
Yeah.
that you could do that. You could just go, okay, what's going to aggravate him the most?
Well, the next one will have to be Lion King.
That's going to aggravate me a lot.
You reckon?
Because it's so, I mean, it's got Timon and Pumbaa, right?
You haven't seen it, though. How do
No.
you know?
Because it just looks so earnest, and I hate that.
It's not just Ernest.
I know it's got the silly boys in it.
You want a
but
bird character? You like your bird characters, Mason?
I think I've had my fill of bird characters after Aladdin, thank you.
Fun fact, though, the bird character was initially going to be like British and Butler-like, and Jafar
yeah.
was going to be like a slithering, annoying idiot.
Yeah, right.
And they reversed it.
They black-added it.
They black-added it.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Blackadder himself plays the bird in bloody...
Oh, in The Lion
Lion
King,
King,
right.
yeah,
Well, that's
there you
interesting. And you know what I did like is I liked the camaraderie between
The bird
Jafar
and-
and Iago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm like,
They're mates!
I'm like, how did these guys get mixed up together? And I'm like, well, they're both pricks. That's why they get along. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's not incorrect. Okay, so here we go. Robin Williams provided the voice for the genie at union scale, which was the lowest legal pay rate a studio can give an actor. And the reason he wanted to do this is because he had young kids at the time, and he's like, I'm going to make something they can see.
Yeah,
and
right.
they don't want to watch Popeye, obviously.
No, right?
Yeah.
Every copy was burned.
That's right. On the proviso, though, his voice was not to be used for merchandising, i.e. toys and such, and that the genie character would not take up more than 25% of the space on the poster or the billboards or the trailer or anything like that. When these wishes were not granted, he withdrew his support for Disney and the film. So I don't know whether you've seen the follow-up sequels to this movie, Mason.
But it's all Genie all the time?
Return of Jafar and The King of Thieves.
No, I haven't.
He doesn't come back to the sequel for the sequel. They got Dan
Castellaneta?
Castellaneta, that's
Homer
right.
Simpson
filled in-
himself.
That's right, filled in the voice. He also did the TV series. And then in an attempt to get Robin Williams back on good terms, Walt Disney CEO Michael Eisner apologized and gave him an original Pablo Picasso painting, and still
Of the genie?
Yes, that's right. But he still felt angry and betrayed, and he wouldn't accept the gift. It was not until Disney chairman Jeff Katzenberg was fired and replaced by Joe Roth that Williams returned, and a public apology was given. Promises to right the wrongs were kept, and Williams was so touched that he reprised the role for the genie in the third movie, Aladdin, the King of Thieves.
Oh. Which one is the one that has Aladdin's deadbeat dad in it?
3.
That's 3, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and they actually referenced the King of Thieves in the original.
Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves.
Yeah, so there you bloody go.
right.
Also, this is great for Dan Castellaneta.
Yes.
Disney was so thrilled that they threw out the previously completed recording sessions for part 3. So they'd already done it, and they went,
Into
too
the
bad.
bin. Yeah, that's right.
Go back to The Simpsons, idiots, they said.
That's right.
there you
Enjoy
go.
your $1 million an episode, you dumbass.
So there you go. That's Aladdin. Mason didn't hate it, and I also continue not to hate it, though I don't think it's amazing.
Huh.
That's the end.
That's pretty good.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, look, it's Caravan of Garbage. It's every week. What do you got?
I've really taken the wind out of your sails, haven't I, with liking a thing?
Mason, I hate you.
I know you
that.
do. Yes. I'll take it.
This show wasn't supposed to be about that.
That's right.
We do Caravan of Garbage every Tuesday, but we also have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows.
Yes.
We recently have an episode on Aladdin, the live action one. What do we think of that one? How does it stack up, if at all? Will Smith's genie, has it got what it takes?
Yes.
How many impressions does he do of Jack Nicholson?
Is it a whole new world, or is it the same movie? Scene by scene.
Thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week. Wait. Grab that lamp.
What?
Lamp?
I don't know.
Like a lamp, like a
What?
magic lamp. You'd grab a lamp.
Like,
So what-
like next to your bed?
No, like a magic lamp.
They just plug into the wall.
No, like a... Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Grab that lamp.
Oh!